UFC 307 is here, and this is your breakdown and prediction video. First prediction video I've done. Let's see how well I do. First off to note, UFC 307 is happening in Salt Lake City, very high elevation, and a lot of people got tired. If you remember the first, well, not the first, it was actually the second fight between Usman and Edwards, but the headshot KO knockout. That happened in Salt Lake City, and everyone saw how tired those guys were getting. Everyone on the card was getting gassed. So that could be a factor at play in these fights. You should bear that in mind. But we'll start from the bottom of the card. Early prelims, Court McGee versus Tim Means. I don't want to talk too much about the prelims, but these are both a couple of old guys, right? They've both passed their primes. Tim Means is 40, Court McGee's 39. And they're both veterans. They've both had a lot of fights. Interestingly, Tim Means has lost quite a few of his losses have come by way of submission. Court McGee has a few submissions on his record, so that is a potential way this fight could go. But I more likely see it being a decision win for Tim Means. I think he's just a little bit better. He's got a slightly better resume. I think he's more likely to pull off a win here by decision. Then moving into the women's strawweight division, the most fun, exciting division in the whole sport, of course. Got Carla Esparza and Tisha Pennington. Used to be Tisha Torres. Carla Esparza has a really good resume, actually. She's got some good wins on her record, but she's been inactive. She's not fought much for a while. And Tisha Pennington hasn't really been very active either. Her most recent fight was a loss. And this one I see being... Do you remember? I think it might have been 2 fights ago, was the super boring win that Carla Esparza had against Rose Namajunas, where she just kept trying to wrestle her. Rose was scared to engage, and Carla ended up winning on decision. I can see it going a similar way where Carla is just constantly trying to wrestle and pick up a few points here and there with a little bit of basic striking and end up grinding out a victory. A very boring decision is what I predict in that fight. Classic women's strawweight, to be honest. And then the last of the early prelims, Ryan Spann and OSP. OSP in his day was a good fighter, but he's old now. He's 41 years old now. So, I mean, he doesn't really have age on his side, does he? Ryan Spann has lost his last 3, and there was a time when he was looking like he might be a decent prospect. That time is long gone. Both of these guys, neither of them are doing right well. But I see Ryan Spann winning this. He has got power in his hands. He could knock out OSP. And I think that's what's going to happen. I've got Ryan Spann by knockout on this one. And then into the prelims, we've got Cesar Almeida versus Iho Porteria. And Almeida, if you just look at his record, it looks like he's not got much experience, and Porteria has a lot more experience. But if you didn't know, then Cesar Almeida actually has quite a big kickboxing record. I'm not sure exactly how many fights he had, but he's like in the 50s, something like that. So he's got a lot of stand-up fighting experience. And Iho Porteria doesn't really grapple all that much. I see this being a stand-up battle, and I see Cesar Almeida winning this. Let's just have a look at... Yeah, Cesar Almeida, he does get a lot of knockouts. I could see him winning this by TKO. Iho Porteria kind of just gets beaten up on. So there's that. So, yeah, I reckon Almeida by TKO in that one. Then going up again, Austin Hubbard versus Alexander Hernandez. Same with both of these guys. They both looked really good until they reached the high levels in the UFC. Outside the UFC, these guys have great records. Alexander Hernandez came to the UFC, thought he was the next big thing, and got smashed by Cerrone, which was a great moment. Seeing one of the greats smash this cocky kid. Oh, that's one that you should watch. And since then, both these guys are kind of like you win one, you lose one. I think they've both got a losing record overall in the UFC, something like 8-7 or 7 wins to 8 losses for Austin Hubbard and like 8 wins to 9 losses for Hernandez. They both win one, lose one kind of thing. I think Hernandez is explosive and has some power in his hands. I think that is what's more likely to win him the fight. I've got Alexander Hernandez to win by KO. Or TKO, should I say. Then we've got, in the women's strawweight again, Marina Rodriguez against Yasmin Lucindo. Rodriguez has a lot of high-level experience. She has fought some of the best fighters. Let's get her record up now, actually. So, look, she's Michelle Waterson. I know she's sort of a bit older now. She's fought Andrade. She lost that one, but it was just a split decision loss. Amanda Lemos, Yan Xiaonan. She's fought basically the best that there are in the women's divisions. Carla Esparza, Tisha Torres, or Tisha Pennington now. So she's fought a lot of these high level for the women's divisions. And she's one of the better fighters. And then on the other side, we've got Yasmin Lucindo, who is one of the few very exciting women's fighters. She comes out, she swings crazy. Where I see there being the difference, though, is Marina Rodriguez is composed. She can strike. She'll keep her at range. And whilst Lucindo is gassing herself out, throwing crazy hooks, she throws these wild hooks. I think she's just going to be missing on those wild hooks, and Rodriguez is going to pick her apart at a longer range. They actually have, well, Lucindo has 1 inch of reach advantage, but the height and the legs are going to make it really difficult for her to get in close and land the crazy hooks that she throws. That's basically all she throws, these looping hooks, which might be all right at a certain level, but I don't think it's going to be enough here against Marina Rodriguez. So I've got Rodriguez to win by decision. It'd be great, though, to see Lucindo come in and knock her down and smash her about, but I don't see it happening. And next up, one of the fights I'm most excited for, Wonderboy and Joaquin Buckley. I like Wonderboy a lot. He's a great fighter. He just seems like a friendly guy, you know. And his striking is crisp, even at he's 40, maybe even older than 40 now. But his striking is still looking crisp, sharp, snappy. What he did to Kevin Holland sort of a year or so ago was beautiful. And then you've got on the other side Buckley, who started off, he got knocked out by Kevin Holland quite early into his UFC run. And now he's been on a tear for the last few fights. He's powerful, explosive, can grapple. He has vicious ground and pound. When he gets people on the floor, he's not messing about. He smashes them up. And I hate to say it, but I've got Buckley winning this one. I think Buckley's going to win this one, and I think it's going to be a ground and pound TKO. I think he's going to Wonderboy's striking is immense, and his grappling is so bad. His wrestling is so bad. When he gets taken down, he just can't seem to do anything. So I think Buckley's going to keep putting him down and keep ground and pounding. He's explosive. He's going to get in for those explosive takedowns. He might get some explosive shots landing when Wonderboy's he might just catch Wonderboy at moments. Yeah, I can completely see Buckley winning that. At first, I wanted to pick Wonderboy because I just really like him, but I don't see it. Buckley by ground and pound TKO. Next up, we have Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland has got nice striking. I think he's a fun fighter to watch. It's kind of like a fan favorite is what I think of Holland. And Dolidze, I just think he's a bit too easy to hit. I don't really have much more to say about those guys. I think Holland is going to be able to land on him, and Holland has serious power when he's landing. We've seen it. We've seen him knock people out. Like I said with Joaquin Buckley, he knocked him out. Jacare knocked out. Kevin Holland is going to win this one by KO. That's the way I see it going down. And then we're getting near to the top of the card. We've got Ketlen Vieira versus Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison is just a beast, isn't she? She just throws people about and does what she wants, beats them up everywhere. She's only had one fight in the UFC, fought Holly Holm, who is forever going to hold a place in my heart because of that head kick she did to Ronda Rousey. What a great moment in the sport that was. But Kayla Harrison is a monster. Ketlen Vieira is good. She's got a good record, a good resume. But I see Kayla Harrison winning this one. I think she's going to take her down and beat her up on the ground. Kayla Harrison by submission. Yeah, either submission or ground and pound TKO, but I'll go Kayla Harrison by submission. She's going to beat her up on the ground, then she's going to take her back and give her a rear naked choke. Right, and to another one of the fights I'm really excited for on this card. The return of the King of Rio again. Jose Aldo against Mario Bautista. Aldo looked really sharp in his last fight against Jonathan Martinez, who was seen as a tough challenge, an upcoming prospect. Jose Aldo has been about the sport for a long time now. People are expecting him to fall off, but if you look at his record, even now he's only ever lost to the best of the best. His losses have come to, we see it on here, Dvalishvili, who is now the champion, Piotr Jan, who is a former champion and still one of the best in that weight class, Volkanovski, and everyone was losing to Volkanovski, Holloway, the famous McGregor knockout, and then everything else, he's just beating everyone. He's just winning all of his fights. It's only the best of the best, Holloway, Volkanovski, McGregor, Jan, and Dvalishvili, who can beat him. And not many people even stand a chance against them. So, yeah, Jose Aldo's racking up a few losses on his record, but they're only to the very best, and he's beaten a lot of the very best himself. I've not seen enough of Mario Bautista at a high level to be able to have any reason to think he will beat Aldo. Now, Bautista's got nice striking. Yeah, he looks good. But it's one thing to look good against people that are decent fighters. There's another thing to look good against one of the all-time greats in Jose Aldo. And that is why I'm picking Aldo by decision. I think this is going to be a hard fight for him because he is getting on. Bautista is young and hungry. But I've still got Aldo by decision. Got to stick by the King of Rio, the man, Jose Aldo. Right, then we've got a bantamweight title bout. Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. Pennington lately has been more active. Juliana Pena's last fight was 2 years ago when she got battered to a decision loss against Amanda Nunes. And she's just not been active since, so there's got to be a bit of ring rust. Pennington has fought earlier this year, I think. And I think that's going to be a big factor in this. I don't know why Pena is even getting a title shot. She should have to work her way up, go through one of the contenders. But here we are. She's got a title shot against Raquel Pennington. And I've got Pennington winning this, outstriking Pena to a decision win. And finally, on to the main event. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. First off, I have no idea. All right. No. We'll give him a fair shake. Khalil Rountree is powerful, explosive, fast, and vicious. Right, he's a problem for most people in the light heavyweight division. He's not a problem for Alex Pereira. I don't understand why some people are picking Rountree to win. I don't see it at all. Pereira is outstriking everyone. He's too good at staying out of the range of someone like that swings wild, like Rountree. Rountree just swings wild shots, trying to swing wild shots on the counter. Pereira is too tight and crisp with his strike, and it's all here. Very rare that he overextends and leaves himself open to good counter shots. It happened against Izzy, but he thought he'd injured him. He thought he'd hurt Izzy, so he went in for the kill and got knocked out for it. I cannot see that happening here. Pereira is just too relaxed and focused and composed for Rowntree's big shots to catch him. And Rountree, he leaves that chin open. Rowntree's out of the southpaw stance. That hand is often down here. And Pereira, if he can set it up with a leg kick or something to keep Rowntree's mind focused elsewhere, he can easily put that short left hook that knocks everyone out. He can put it on Rowntree's chin. I think this is going to be a relatively standard fight for Pereira. And I don't think it's going to show us much new about his skill set. I think really what he needed was to go up against someone who's going to wrestle him a bit. And we know Rountree is not going to wrestle him. He's never shot a takedown. He doesn't intend to wrestle him. Or maybe he's lying. Maybe he'll go in and try wrestle him a bit, which I think he should try. Because on the feet, I don't think Rountree stands a chance. Pereira by first round knockout. That is my prediction. So let me know what you guys think. If you agree with these predictions, if you disagree, let me know. Let me know why you think some of these picks are wrong or right. And yeah, we'll do a recap on this event later. As always, I want to point you in the direction of UK Fight Gear if you're from the UK. You can shop, get the best sparring gear, the best training gear for the best prices. I mean, these prices are as good as you're going to get, guys. Check it out, ukfightgear.com, and let me know what you think of these picks in the comments. See you in the next one.